Good morning to members of the media. Thank you so much for availing yourselves so early in the morning. Yeah, look, it just went to confirm exactly what we thought we knew already. Going into the season already, we before the Chiefs match, we anticipated that it would take us 5, maybe even 6 games before we hit top gear. Of course, the performances have been a glaring demonstration that we were quite correct. But we were correct because we are trying to work in a very systematic way to be a bit more scientific with regards to how we go about the season, because our form guide informed us last season that after a very good start to the season, there was a huge dip in form towards and a bit earlier than we had anticipated towards the end of the season, and in trying to rectify that, to have a little bit more longevity, to try to find a little bit more consistency, we altered a little bit how we worked and how we prepared the preseason, and also it's quite relative because we are informed a lot by health and medical issues, so it's been a tricky preseason, but a preseason that we wanted to progressively load our players to work in a way that will allow us to probably still maintain an element of freshness even late in the season, and hopefully by then we're able to maintain performances, maintain the football actions in relation to the quality, the frequency, and the rest in between. And we are trying to build that, and we don't want to put the cart before the horse. We want to make sure that we've got a very good base so that we can build upon with our performances. And so far, we are happy with the progress. Are we happy with the performances? No, but were we expecting to be where we are? Yes, 100%. And if you look, Kaizer Chiefs 35 minutes, and then you go to AmaZulu, maybe a very good 45 minutes. And yesterday, on Tuesday, we had a situation where we could maintain football actions, particularly in the second half, and be a little bit more explosive. But the signs are there that we are on the right track, and we need to be a bit more patient. I love football questions. How do we prepare for Golden Arrows? Well, it's not easy. Traditionally, Arrows have had a very distinctive way of playing, a very Arrows way of playing, and I think it's synonymous with how they are known as Abafana Westend. They play with a bit more exuberance. They play a little bit off the cuff, and even when they try to have some form of organizational forms, they still try to maintain a little bit the flair and the expressive abilities of their players, and sometimes that's where the difficulty is. The difficulty comes in trying to pre-plan for instinctive football actions, and that becomes very difficult. They've got a very good team. They've got a very good coach with a good assistant in Mabuti, very knowledgeable, very hardworking, very hungry for success and to be for information, and wants to be a top coach all the time. And but yeah, it's a team that still tries to maintain the 4-2-3-1 sort of structure. It's a team that will always give you problems, whether they have Gumede up front or whether they have Knox Mutizwe. And we've seen so many times that sometimes it's Knox starts and then Gumede comes on, or Gumede starts and then Knox comes on. But as you saw against SuperSport, Gumede started and he gives you a different dynamic, although possibly Knox is probably just as strong with regards to providing the team with a focal point and depth on the other side of the pitch with his speed and his ability to get beyond the defensive line. Of course, I think in that three that comes behind, they've got a lot of options. Sibia, Bule, Modi, top performance against SuperSport. In fact, very aggressive in one-on-ones. Is ambidextrous, uses the left foot, the right foot, so it becomes very difficult. And then that gives you information on how to deal with him. But the spine with Zuke sitting as a deep line playmaker and Undwande also playing as an 8, slightly closer to him, and they can change the shape in the midfield with two double or a double pivot and a 10 or 2 8s and a 6. And you saw against SuperSport in the second half, a lot of the structure was a double pivot structure to be a bit more offensive, and they release 6-7 players to join the attack. So, and then they've got Matiane with his leadership, they've got Sibisi with his leadership, their ability to play from the back and to start build-ups, how they construct their attacks. This season has been a little bit more of variation. They've got the possibilities of the long ball. They've got the possibility of the pass to the fullback, and they've also got the possibility of trying to play through Uzuke to find the 8s. And sometimes in the first half against SuperSport, we saw that pattern, and then in the second half, it was a bit more vertical and direct, but very good side, and with a lot of energy. They counter press very well, and their fullbacks are very important. They average about 18 crosses into the box, and something that, and I'm talking current numbers, they're averaging about 18 crosses into the box. So it's a team where we know what to expect, but controlling that is the most difficult thing in football. With regards to the injuries, Mark, we had a rest day yesterday. We traveled from PE and we arrived, and the players that needed medical attention received medical attention. The players that had remained behind, unfortunately, like Tambazwane, Musa Lebusa, we still, as of yet, have not received any information with regards to their readiness. But we will see. We've got a training session today. They will be assessed by our medical department, and then maybe closer towards the match, we would be able to give you a more concrete. I try always to be honest, so unfortunately I can't give you an honest answer at the moment.